Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode I will be doing a review of the Moleskine Booklight. Now I'm doing this review sort of out of order that I originally planned on because I wanted to do a review on my book reader first, which is a Nook Touch, which I really like, but I got this case that sort of opens up this way, so it's hard to find a book light that sort of fits this particular setup, because usually if you have a case that opens up like this, then you could just sort of clamp something on the one, on the one side, sort of like, that if it were opening up like this. But because of the way this is folded on the top, the only way to clamp something on the top would be to clamp it on the book reader itself, and I don't really want to clamp my light onto my book reader. Trying to get that out. And I did go through several book lights just to show you. There's a nice Energizer one, which is a little floppy, and if you sort of try to clamp it sideways, which was my thought, it flops around a little bit. And this thing only costs about, between $3 and $8, and they're actually pretty good, they're pretty bright. And then there's the one that's made by Nook, which is a little bit steadier. It's a little more solid in its movement and stays where you put it. And it actually doesn't, it works quite well, because I could just fold this back and clamp it on this portion here, like this, and it'll sort of be on the side, and I can sort of light it like that. And that works okay, but it's not ideal. And that's why I got this Moleskine, because I could go ahead and just slide it down the back between the case and the reader and just bend it over the top, and it would be perfect. It would be perfect, but there's more to this story, and this is why I'm doing it out of order, and you'll see if you stick with me. So I have had this open, but I want to show you the packaging as it came, and you can see that it works with books, but it also works good with the book reader, and I'll show you how I tended to use it. So there it is. Looks like a monolithic looking, just big black piece of rubber. And as you can see on the back, somewhere here, it is made in China. Now some of you might actually know a little bit about this company, Moleskine, or it could be pronounced Moleskine. It could be pronounced any way you'd like according to the company. But this company has a cult following. It really caters to artists, and their gravy product is notebooks. Really nice leather covered, leather bound notebooks that are really, really well made. You open them up, and when the pages are open, it's flat in between. They're not like that. They actually flatten out really nice. There's a pouch on the back, and they got a strap that goes around it when it's closed. Really high end. Now the company started in Italy years and years ago, and then like 2 or 3 years ago, it seems like they started to make things in China, I guess, or maybe just started making other products. But now they got an investment, and now they make things in China, and then a couple of years ago they started adding on other products such as this book light, something like that. If you want to know the specifics, feel free to Google Moleskine, and you can find some stories, maybe on the website, maybe in Wikipedia, on the specifics. Now what really drew me to this, besides its form factor, is that it's USB rechargeable, which means you don't have to worry about keeping on replacing the batteries, which was another good. So let's go ahead and take this out, and we'll take a good close look at here. And it's a very nice design. I love the feel of this. It's like a rubbery plastic. And another nice thing is with the regular lights, you're getting that harsh direct light out of a clear. LED is pretty harsh. So they're very bright, very harsh kind of light. And if you're reading at night in bed next to your spouse or loved one, this thing is pretty bright. Now, this only has a couple of minutes of charge in it, but just to show you, it's really not as bright. Now this is not charged up because it's dead, but this white plastic sort of softens the light. You can see now, if you notice, the switch has malfunctioned. It turns off sometimes. Sometimes it'll turn off, sometimes it won't. And I'll talk to you about that here in a couple of minutes. So, let's talk about this third leg right here. Whoop! Let's walk over to the computer and I'll show you how this recharges. Okay, I'm sure this part of the video is going to get a lot of cracks, but whatever. So you have this third leg here, and all you do is stick the third leg into the USB port and it will charge the unit. Now I'm going to bend this all the way around here. And you can see a blue light comes on right here, and that lets you know it's charging. I wish I could get this light to turn off. Maybe if I beat it up a little bit here on camera, because I have got it to actually turn off at one point. There we go, it's off. So I'm going to go ahead and stick the USB part in here, and you can see there's a blue light that comes on when it's charging, and it just stays on. It never goes out, so it really is, at least as far as I know, it just lets you know it's doing its thing, but it doesn't go out when it's fully charged. And it takes a couple of hours, probably about 6 or 8 hours, I don't know. So there you go. Now let me show you how I was going to use it with my book reader. So here's my book reader, and I would fold this back, and like I said before, I was just sort of clamping this light over here and sort of doing this, but it's not quite ideal. And again, this, you know, even the Nook light's kind of harsh. So what I could do with this is just sort of tuck it down behind the book reader and the case, and just bend that over and just have it light like that. Again, this is discharged. It would be normally brighter, but not as bright as this. So, and it looks really nice, don't it? They should make these book readers with lights in them. I don't understand why. I know the color ones are backlit, but the black and white ones are not. And we'll get into that in the video about the Nook here. So there it is. It's a very classy, very seamless, a well-made product. So now we talked all about the good. Now I'm going to talk about how the company treated me. Look at that, it went off that time. It's like, now it's going to work. When I first took this out of the box, it did have a charge to it, and I pressed it 3 times, and then the lights wouldn't go out. So this switch is sort of hit and miss. and see, now it works. Really strange. But anyway, obviously it's not dependable. So I went ahead, sorry about the shape there, and called the company, because I bought this from a Books A Million bookstore that's about 40 miles away. So, you know, normally, you know, if I bought it from a store that's close by, I would just bring it back to the store. But this cost $20. So let's talk about the customer service of this company, because this is where this company really pissed me off, and I might never buy a product again from them. So this thing malfunctions, as you saw. Sometimes it works, sometimes the button doesn't. So I went to Google Moleskine to try to find the website, and I found the Moleskine store online, and you hit support, and there's a place where you could fill in this form online that emails it to them. And I stated in the form that, you know, I'm 40 miles away from the store that I bought it back. It's not cost effective for me to go traveling, and I would like you to take care of this, and that the button is faulty, it's bad. And I didn't get a response for a day, so I went ahead and found a phone number, and I called them, and I told them the same story, and they apologized that they cannot deal with stuff that you bought in the retail store, that you have to go to the Moleskine website, not the online store, to seek support or tell them your problem. So I go to the Moleskine.com. I find their little support thing, fill out the form, tell them I don't want to travel 40 miles there, 40 miles back, all these hours, and, you know, basically the cost of the product would be to return it to the retailer that I bought it from. And, you know, would you help? And they basically came back and pissed me off in an email. They sent me an email where the first paragraph is about how great their quality control is and great product and everything. And they said you have to return it back to the retailer. And totally ignored, didn't even acknowledge anything about me saying anything about having to travel 40 miles there and 40 miles back. They blew it off. And I don't know what they were thinking. I'm sure this is a cut and paste little blurb thing that they just send out, a canned response template, whatever. But the last thing that you want to do to a customer who has a product that's faulty is to brag about your quality control and to then tell you that you're out of luck. That's going to just piss people off. Now, I did go online and tried to search for Moleskine and customer service, and I'll tell you, nobody else has had a problem with them. So, you know, this is an isolated incident. You know, I got maybe the one bad one out of the bunch, so I don't know. But I was treated bad by the company, so I'm pissed off about it. There are other people who have gotten very good, satisfactory customer service. When I did some searches a couple of years ago, I haven't found anything recently. So maybe they sort of went downhill in the last year or two. I don't know. It's hard to say. I can only speculate. But I do know by personal experience, I'm pissed off at Moleskine. And I love the light. The designer who designed this is a freaking genius. I love it. But it doesn't do me any good if it doesn't work every time I press the button. And now it's weird that, you know, I literally like sat here and it's funny how it's working perfect now and how it doesn't, and I'm pressing the button the exact same way. But I don't know. What can I say? Anyway, I'm sure if you go out and buy it, you know, you're going to get a good one. And I'm probably going to just bite it and go up to, you know, the store, return this, get a different one. And when I do, I'll tell you what, when I do the review of the Nook, and I'll go ahead and trade this in for one that reliably turns on and off, and I will let you know if the second one works flawlessly. Because you know what, when you're pumping out millions and millions and millions of these things, mechanical things just break. I'm just not happy with the customer service of the company directly. They want you just to send it back to the retailer. Stupid thing works now. Whatever. So, I'm wearing my Jets gear. You know why? Because I just heard today that the Jets got Tebow. In case you haven't heard, you're going to be seeing this video Friday. This is Wednesday when I'm videotaping this, so it just came out earlier today. And in case you didn't know, and you're not watching the news, I don't blame you for not watching the news because it's kind of depressing these days. But the Jets got Tebow, so it's kind of weird what's going to happen with Sanchez, and you know, I think they're going to keep him. I don't know. So, anyway, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, you. And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.